We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Kill Train Issue 1. This is a 2025 series from Mad Cave Studios, written by Olivia, Cuartero-Briggs, art by Martina, Niosi, colors by Simone, lettered by Becca, Carey, edited by James Emmett. I have cover A by Skylar, Partridge. Cover's not bad and it does relate to what's going on in the book, but it is largely just a pinup. So this book comes in at $5 with kinda crappy feeling cover paper, but we immediately get the idea that there is something shady going on with the subways and people are being killed there. And it turns out it's sort of a near future purge where the overpopulation is dealt with by randomly picking subway cars and wiping out everybody on them. So that's where we meet Vanessa. She just moved in with her boyfriend Richard and she has not unpacked her moving pod, which is sitting in the living room. They have sort of a cold conversation about her moving in. He gives her some money, but it's not a lot and it hasn't quite gone through yet, so that's setting her up for a future problem. In the meantime, we learn that there's a whistleblower on the kill trains where all the paid assassins apparently up and quit because they couldn't take care of everybody on the subway efficiently and they'd run out of ammo and just have to improvising. And we already learned at the beginning of the issue that there's a cleanup crew that goes in to finish the job on anyone that's lingering. We also meet Kay, which is Vanessa's daughter, who has to get dropped off at school. Now Vanessa found out that Kay had a cab pass, which she takes from her daughter to get her to work and accidentally leaves on the cab. Things haven't been going great for Vanessa. Her writing career's not going well, and her mom's not particularly helpful, so she stubbornly decides that because she can't afford a taxi that she's gonna take the train home. And that's when things go sideways, because immediately a bunch of people get splattered and we're left with a cliffhanger ending, where apparently one psychopath can kill like 8 people in a panel. Now, because there are no assassins, the city has resorted to paying like the homeless and psychos and pretty much anyone that'll do it to use whatever weapons they want to take people out. So I don't know what's going on here, but this issue is almost entirely lead-in. About half of it could have been edited out or pared down into much smaller spaces. Some of the panels weren't even necessary and could have been done by 3 dialogue boxes instead of 3 panels. But unfortunately, editors and writers really do not seem to understand the sequential art format, or they're just taking their time with it for padding of trade paperbacks, that sort of thing. And unfortunately, I think some of that was pretty obvious here, that there's padding going on, whether knowingly or not. This really could have been condensed down into about half the space. At best, this would have been a 12-page story, and you could have put a lot more in there about the kill trains that were going to be the interesting part of this, because it's supposed to be kind of a horror book. The art's not too bad. I wasn't real upset with that, but not a lot happens in the art. It's a lot of static images of people talking, and sometimes people's lips look really weird. But until we get some action sequences, we're really not getting to know how the artist handles anything other than standing around talking or sitting and talking. There's not a whole lot of movement in this book. It does so far give me a lot of vibes that this may have been inspired by Maniac of New York, but we'll see how that goes. I will probably pick up issue 2. I don't know if I'll get it off the rack or get it out of a back issue bin somewhere down the line, but I thought the concept was interesting enough, mostly because I liked Maniac of New York and Friday the 13th Part 8, which inspired that from what I could tell. So I'm willing to see where it goes and give it another issue, but it really needs to pick up on the action and have a lot less babbling. There was just so much unnecessary talking in here that was over-explaining the character's motivations. A lot of what was done could have been condensed way down. There was a sequence where she runs into her friend and talks about how her writing career's not going that well. That entire scene could have been taken out. It was unnecessary because it was repetitive of what she already said to Richard earlier in the story and why he gave her some money. So if they could pare down the over-explanation of story elements and just get to more of the progress of the story, move into Act 2 a lot faster and get to the action parts, I think this book would be a lot better. But so far, it's not bad. Likely, this is going to be one of those that you'll want to read as a trade paperback because all that extra dialoguing and navel-gazing won't be as painfully obvious if you're sitting down to read the whole thing at once. Still, it's not the worst thing I've read this month, so like I said, I'll probably pick up issue 2 at some point and see how it goes. But in the meantime, this is a very soft recommendation. $5 is a lot of money for what amounts to all of the pre-credit scenes. Just about everything in this issue could have been done before the end of the opening credits if they had condensed it properly. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the episode, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.